Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezwa Elimike. I hope you're doing great. Today, let us dig deeper into situating the nature of our feelings and what they make out of us. Now, I would want to begin by explaining the nature of the good and the bad feelings within us. Now, when we understand these natures of these feelings, then we'll be able to understand which of them is actually worth encouraging in line with our ideal life goals and which of them is worth discouraging. You will be surprised that a lot of us live our lives without understanding the feelings inside of us. But the understanding of these feelings, what they represent, if we can create a taxonomy, a differentiation between them, and then we have a way of identifying them when we feel them, knowing what they do, knowing their characteristics, we'll be able to decide whether we want them or not and be able to also control them. We'll be discussing more of this when we come back from the break. I am Osezwa Anthony Elimike. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the truth. I want us to understand that a good feeling does not lead us to do anything. Apart from the fact that the good feeling makes you decide whether to allow it or not. Once the feeling comes, it is gentle. All it wants from you is a buy-in, an acceptance, or a rejection. Once you accept it, that's all. Okay? It goes away. The moment you accept a good feeling, that moment you have a compensation, you have a reward, instant pleasure spreads through your entire system and you are blissful, you are happy. That's one point. It doesn't lead you to another action or another decision. No, it does that. What is he saying to you? Simply saying to you, my friend, there is an intention that your higher self wants to carry out. There is a plan, there is an action that your higher self or the universe wants to carry out. And this is what it's like. Do you approve of it? And you see it like a light bulb full of bliss, lighting up within your system, and you just said, oh goodness, I love this. Most times, the message of this good feeling is elevated, it is grand. If you are a person that works closely with their inner nature, you will realize that it is possible. Because these feelings come with so much promise, with so much pleasure, with so much grandness, that if you are not a person of faith, you can't go along with it. You might just feel that, oh, this is too much, I can't. But when you say yes to that feeling, in that instant, you have this flowering of joy. You feel fulfilled and it ends there. What it means is that give way to life to do that which concerns you. Let life do its work and you stay away. What you have to do at that time is not to dwell on the beauty and the grand promises that the feeling has given you. All you need to do is be grateful for it, accept it, and release it and let it go. But the mistake most of us make is that when such a grand feeling comes, we accept it. That is a good step, very good. But then we begin to fantasize about the possibilities of the outcomes. Then we lose it. Get it? So the idea is to accept it when it comes, release it, let it go, and enjoy the leftover of bliss that it leaves within your system. That's as far as the positive feeling goes. He's simply saying to you, let your inner powers, let the nature, let the higher you do that which it has planned for you. You have to understand this one thing, that you are an idea of the divine, of the Almighty. And in the universe, you are a cell in the entire system, in the entire body structure of the universe. Therefore, If you can trust the universe, you cannot afford to fail because you can't. Failure comes when we try to do it our way. Okay, now that takes us to the other feeling, the negative feeling. When the negative feeling comes, first of all, it is not gentle when it comes. When the negative feeling comes, it wants to take energy from you. It demands energy from you. So you find it grating, very pulling. It seems to be pulling some kind of force from you. When it comes with that force, demanding energy from you, then it gives you a promise. That is the lure to say, if you allow me, you will get this. So it is like you are looking at something that is seductive, that is asking you to come get me, and then you say, but this is not good, I don't want to do it. But say, if you do it, you will have this pleasure, and that pleasure is welling within you already as a promise. Then you fall for it, but that is not it. When you say, okay, I allow this feeling, you allow the feeling, but this is where it works. It takes it to another level. Accepting the feeling is not the end of it. It wants you to now commit, to take another step, to act in order to get the promise it has made to you. These are the two things. You see, the positive feeling comes with a promise and says, this is what we see. This is what is about being created in your life. What do you think? You say, yes, I accept it. It leaves you. It fills you with bliss and joy, then it goes. But the negative feeling comes and says, this is what you are going to get if you allow me. And it comes with so much urgency, with so much pull, with so much lure. When you accept it, that is not the end. It doesn't go. It now fills you with desire for that thing it has promised you. You are loaded with desires, you are unable to control yourself, and it tells you, take this step, go and do this thing. Now, the positive feeling makes you be, just leaves you at the state of being. But the negative feeling makes you do. It makes you push further. What is it doing? Is making you commit to the action, to the negative action or whatever of the mind, so that you become part and parcel of the actions of the mind, and then you can reap the consequences, the karma that follow such an action. That is what he wants you to do. The promise of the negative feeling is deferred till a later date. First of all, when you accept. When you accept it, it defers it again till when you do, when you carry out another action, which was not part of the bargain at the beginning. This one takes us to the next level of discussion in this video, which is 3 kinds of human beings. There are 3 kinds of human beings in the world. There are the observers, which are people who only respond to the lure of the positive feelings. They just observe the actions of the mind, the actions of the universe. They know that the purpose of their being here is to observe. So they observe. Like the Bible God will say, the battle is not yours. They understand that the battle is not theirs. That the actions in this world is not theirs. Even the careers, their relationships, everything is not their working. They know it. So they surrender to life and they let it happen. They are never scared of losing anything because they understand that nothing can be lost in the land of the living. They also understand that when they trust in the divine hand, in the superior powers that exist that control the entire universe, there is no failure possible on them. Things can change. There can be a transmutation of plans, but it doesn't mean that they have failed. They understand that, they trust it, and they know that whether life kills them or life gives them life or it elevates them, whatever it is, they never die. They are perpetually alive and everything happens for their own good. That is the nature and mentality of the observer. They can't be destroyed. That's their belief, and they live on that. Then the second group are the doers. These are the corporate giants. These are the inventors. These are the people who make the world go round. They are the people in politics, in power. Their duty is to do, is to control. Okay? They control their feelings, they control themselves with the intention to be able to control others. And it is in the control of others, the control of the system, that they have their kicks and their satisfactions. That's what they do. They work hard. They are consistently looking for angles on life. They are a powerful people. They are the ones that run the planet. And they have foot soldiers who also run at the various levels. Then they control the material resources of this world. They control everything. They are the power brokers. They are men and women of karma. They carry massive karmic weight upon themselves. What we really advise them is to make sure that the karmic weight they are carrying are positive by using that orientation of theirs to do positive things, to improve on the lives of people, to bless lives, to ensure that their action do not cause anybody a needless tear. That is all we beg them, because for their own good, they should walk that way. Because there's so much weight involved in it, there's so much pain, there's so much load that follows such way of living. Okay? Added to these things are the stress of life, because what they are doing is that they are carrying the weight of the universe, the superficial, not the real weight, the superficial, which is the political, socio-economic weight of the universe upon their shoulders. They are giving the demigod more reason to subsist. That's what they're doing. They are a blessed people. Without them, we won't be thinking of all these things we have around here. I have light right now. It is their effort that are making it possible. If there is no light, it is a bad karma on them. If there is light, good karma on them. What they do, we feel it, we experience it. Then there are the consumers. Okay, they are the have-centric people. Theirs is to have. The difference between them and the doers is that when the doers have, they invest it. They put it out there. That's why you see that the most generous politician who strategically spends becomes the best politician. This is also the same reason the most generous business people, investors who strategically invest, are the ones that get. They are not getting with intent to consume. They are getting with intent to grow, to elevate. But the havers, the consumer-centric people, theirs is just to survive. They are out to survive as bodies. They want to keep body and soul together. You hear that expression before, it's about keeping body and soul together. They don't mind if they live from hand to mouth, but the basic thing is that there's a new car out there being produced, they want to have it. There is a house being built somewhere, they want to have it. You see, somebody can be in the doing category and be pulled down by the mentality of consumerism, which is having, in the sense that the resources they have, they used to chase. There are people who say that their passion is to drive expensive cars. Those people can never lead. They can never be the champions or leaders at the doing level, because they are struck by greed for materialism. So they cannot really go far in the doing level. They will over time be pulled down to the consumer-centric populace. Therefore, the consumers is about acquisition. They work to acquire. Okay? When they are struggling, they are putting their best to get work. They do work that they don't like. They are not doing jobs because they love the job. They are doing it because of what the job promises, the money it's going to pay them. That's what drives their effort. They leave home early in the morning and come back late at night. They work with people they don't like. They are smart people. They look for ways to cut corners to get things done. They are not interested in how you feel. They are not even interested in how you feel about them, whether you like them or not. As long as you, at the end of the day, allow them earn their income so that they can get all the things they want, they are okay. But guess what? These people are the agents of the doers. They use them. They throw peanuts at them just to satisfy the desires that they have, so that they, the doers, can have the power that they seek. It's a world of network like that. But the people who are in the observation level, they are very few. You could say they are like the top 3% or thereabout of the human population. They are few. The thing is that they have everything, but they don't use everything. They hardly even use enough because they are not materially intended. They are focused on the higher goals, which is powers beyond the physical. They are interested in being who they want to be. And at that same level of the observation, there are also two parts broken into to the left and the right part. We have those, well, that's another discussion entirely, but you understand that at that level of the observation of the observer level, there are two. Just as you have in the doer level, there are also two. You have those who are oppressive, who will use criminality. They don't call it criminality at that time. They have a name for it. Okay, they call it pressure, political pressure, business pressure to have what they want. All right, that's that level. When they fail, sometimes they suffer their consequences. Then there are the other ones who are the positivistic ones, who are out there to just serve. Their purpose in doing is to serve humanity, is to create balance in the system. Okay, now cutting across these two levels there, you have those so-called freedom fighters who want to ensure that justice is served. For me, that's a waste of time, because however hard you try to get this thing done, you won't succeed, because people will always oppress people, and because of that there will be injustice. Because the reason you see people being oppressed is because of the karmic weight that they brought into this world. People must pay for what they have done. But don't forget, whatever you're doing, do it because you think it is the right thing to do. It is out of love, not out of fear, not out of the need to get at the expense of others, which is greed. If you can overcome all of these things, you are safe, and then you can begin to grow from there and build towards the higher levels of life. But for now, my friend, understand that what takes you into any of these three levels has to do with the feeling that you embrace and the reason you embrace them. We can talk about this in another video when we have grace to have another day by the grace of the Almighty. God bless you.